Item 1 on the agenda, confirmation of the minutes of the third meeting held on the 25th of October 2013. Now, on the minutes, item 8, Mr. Tony Chair asked that his question raised on voting issues be recorded. So the Secretariat will issue the amended minutes later. Can we then confirm the minutes subject to that amendment? Okay, thank you. Matters rising, nothing special to report on our meeting with the Chief Secretary for Administration. Business arising from previous council meetings. Legal Service Division report on subsidiary legislation gazetted on the 25th of October 2013. Legal advisor, please. There are 6 items of subsidiary legislation, Mr. Chairman. First one, air pollution control, air pollutant emission, controlled vehicles regulation. This regulation is on diesel vehicles. The Secretary for the Environment has made a legal notice because we want to phase out pre-Euro 4 diesel vehicles and to impose a service life limit of 15 years for new diesel vehicles registered for the first time. The administration will actually be seeking funding approval from the Finance Committee for $11.7 billion as a one-off non-recurrent funding for paying ex gratia payment to the relevant truck vehicle owners. If there are special circumstances, the administration could be given exemption. On how the Environmental Protection Department would exercise its power on giving waiver, we have sought answers from the EPD. We've just got the reply. The panel on environmental affairs was consulted on the 15th and 25th of on the 15th of May and the 2nd of October. The LM will come into operation on the 1st of February next year. 3 other items. Companies under the company's ordinance. First 2, LN 161 and LN 162. These are actually technical amendments. It's about giving the authority to the administration to add further compoundable offences. So by paying a compounding fee, there is no need for the case to go to court. As for disclosure of a number of shares and so on, because in counting shares value is no longer based on quantity, so these are just corresponding amendments. The LN1, LN2 will come into operation on the 31st of January next year. And then LN163 is to make possible the full commencement of the company's ordinance except for a number of provisions in relation to the new inspection arrangement and uncertificated securities. The commencement date will be the 3rd of March next year. Now, on inspection arrangement involving particulars of directors, the administration will have to consider the issue further before it will propose any amendments if necessary. As for the uncertificated securities, in the second half of the legislative session 2013-14, the relevant amendment bill will be submitted to deal with this issue. On the panel on financial affairs was consulted in January and April this year on these proposals. So these are the 3 items under the company's ordinance. Next, lifts and escalators ordinance commencement notice 2013. In 2012 and 2013, the lifts and escalators ordinance have commenced in phases. This time round, commencement is about transitional clauses, transitional arrangements. These transitional arrangements will terminate next by the end of this year, so that the new arrangements could be put in place. Now, on the transition arrangement on qualification requirements of registered lift or escalator workers and engineers. The transitional arrangement will remain in place. The government hasn't decided on when the new arrangements will replace the transitional arrangements. And then there are two items there's an item of subsidiary legislation not required to be tabled and not subject to amendment. That's the United Nations Sanctions Somalia Amendment Number 2 Regulations 2013. There are revised sanctions that have come into full effect already on the 25th of October this year. And we would suggest that the relevant subcommittee under the House Committee could consider this item. Thank you. Thank you. As suggested by the legal advisor, we refer the item on UN sanction to the subcommittee chaired by Ms. Sit Ho. And for the other items, air pollution control regulation, members, do you wish to set up a subcommittee? Mr. Frankie Yik, Ms. Sit Ho have asked to set up a subcommittee. Anyone joining, please? Fine. So we issue circulars to members. The three items of subsidiary legislation under the company's ordinance. Do members wish to set up a subcommittee? Mr. Wong Ting Kwong, do you wish to set up a subcommittee? I didn't say anything. Okay, then there's no need to set up a subcommittee. Next one, lifts and escalators ordinance, commencement notice. No need to set up a subcommittee. Further business for the Council meeting of the 6th of November 2013. Tabling of papers. Report number 2/13 to 14 of the House Committee on consideration of subsidiary legislation and other instruments. This report covers 5 items of subsidiary legislation, the period for or amendment of which will expire on the 6th of November. Regarding the arbitration, appointment of arbitrators and mediators, and decision on number of arbitrators rules, as the administration will move a proposed resolution at the Council meeting to amend these rules, members will have the opportunity to speak on the rules. In addition, as Mr. Dennis Kwok, Chairman of the Subcommittee on Solicitors General Costs Amendment Rules 2013, has indicated his intention to speak on the rules, so I will be moving a motion as the Chairman of the House Committee at the Council meeting to take note of the report in relation to the rules. Bill's resumption of debate on second reading, committee stage and third reading. Merchant Shipping Seafarers Amendment Bill 2013. The Bills Committee on the above bill already reported to the House Committee at the last meeting. Then government motion. Proposed resolution to be moved by the Secretary for Justice under Section 34(2) of the Interpretation and General Clauses Ordinance Cap 1 in relation to the arbitration, appointment of arbitrators and mediators, and decision on number of arbitrators rules. Business for the Council meeting of the 13th of November 2013. Questions? Well, 22 questions have been lined up, 6 oral and 16 written. Bills first reading and moving of second reading. No notice has been received yet. Government motion. Proposed resolution to be moved by the Secretary for Constitution and Mainland Affairs under Section 8 of the District Council's Ordinance Cap 547. Legal advisor, please. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's paper number LS7. The purpose of the resolution is to make adjustments to the number of seats for the Eastern District Council and the Wan Chai District Council. For Tin Hau and Victoria Park, these areas will be transferred from the Eastern District Council to the Western District Council. In other words, for the Eastern District Council, the number of elected members will be reduced from 37 to 35, and for Wan Chai, the number will be increased by from 11 to 13. The arrangement will commence in the next term of the District Council, but in preparation for the next election, it will be effective on a certain day. Now, who'd like to set up subcommittee? Ms. Sito. And who'd like to join, please? Okay. In that case, we will inform the administration to withdraw the notice for this resolution, so the subcommittee will have enough time to consider the resolution. Members' motions: proposed resolution to be moved by Ms. Sitho under Section 34(4) of the Interpretation and General Clauses Ordinance Cap 1 in relation to the Country Parks Destination Consolidation Amendment Order 2013. The purpose is to extend the scrutiny period to the 4th of December. Motion to be moved by Mr. Chen Kam Lam responding to the opportunities and challenges brought about by the Shanghai Free Trade Area. And Mr. Kok Wai Keung's motion is opposing further importation of labor. The deadline for giving notice of amendments to the two motions is the 6th of November. There's a list containing one item of subsidiary legislation. The period for amendment of which will expire on the 13th of November. It's been tabled at the meeting. If members wish to speak on the item, please indicate your intention by 5 p.m. next Tuesday, the 5th of November. Report of bills, committees and subcommittees. Report of the Subcommittee on Road Traffic Public Service Vehicles Amendment Regulation 2013. Mr. Chen Kam Lam. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Subcommittee on the Road Traffic Public Service Vehicles Amendment Regulation 2013 held a meeting. It's completed the scrutiny work. The amendment regulation seeks to give effect to an increase of $2 in Flag 4 and of 10 cents in the incremental change after Flag 4 for the hiring of urban new territories and rental taxis, and an increase of $1 for new territories taxis for every article of baggage carried, every animal or bird carried, and every hiring arranged through telephone booking. The increase will align these fees with those of urban and rental taxis. Members are not opposed to the proposed fare adjustment. The subcommittee will be submitting a written report to the House Committee later. Thank you. Next, position on bills, committees and subcommittees. As at the 31st of October, Thursday, there are 9 bills committees, 8 subcommittees under House Committee, and 7 subcommittees on policy issues under panels in action. There are 4 subcommittees on policy issues on the waiting list, nothing under any other business. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.